And you know what I've noticed with the Mortal Kombat fan base? Everybody's talking about the trailer for the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie, and I figured I'd throw my 2 cents in there. So let's go ahead and review the trailer that we got a couple days ago.
You will never win.
We start off with Johnny Cage in a bar getting drunk, and it looks like he's a washed up actor, so we're not going with the brash young actor trying to prove himself, but this time he's an older, washed up martial arts actor who I guess gets caught up into the Mortal Kombat tournament. And I think it's a really nice way to introduce Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, this version of Johnny Cage, because if they were just trying to frame him as the younger Johnny Cage with this actor, I don't think it would have worked, but I like this idea of going this route with Johnny. We see him in a trailer, old school Johnny Cage jacket, which is exactly the same jacket that he was wearing in MK2, so I really like that attention to detail. They're really knocking it out of the park when it comes to aesthetics in this trailer. We get to see Johnny Cage approached by Raiden and Sonya, and right off the bat, I love that Raiden has the iconic Raiden outfit from Mortal Kombat 2, or more similar to Mortal Kombat 2 actually. So we see him here, and it looks dope. I like it a lot. If you compare it to the MK2 look for Raiden, it looks pretty similar. Yeah, so as we can see here, it looks pretty similar to the old school MK2 look, which is a huge upgrade from the way he looked in the first movie in 2021, which it looks nothing like Raiden other than the hat. I mean, the colors don't really match up, but I'm digging the fact that they made it more game accurate. I guess he put on his Sunday best since the tournament is going to take place. Next, we see, I guess they're being teleported to Raiden's temple. I'm guessing this is Raiden's temple here. Then we see like this training montage, and we get to see Kitana. So it looks like clearly right off the bat, we're going to get Kitana aligned with the heroes. She's not going to be a part of Shao Kahn's team or fighting on behalf of Shang Tsung. I forgot, this is technically the first tournament. So this isn't the tournament that takes place in the Mortal Kombat 2 video game. This is the first tournament, and we already have Kitana on the hero side. And just to compare Kitana from the 1995 Kitana, I really like that there's more blue in her outfit, and we get the fans right off the bat. I believe we didn't really get the fans until Annihilation with the first movies. She didn't use the fans in the first movie, if I'm correct, but I really like this look for Kitana. She looks cool. We get Sonya here talking to Johnny Cage, and it looks like Sonya again is gonna be just an exposition dump. She's there just to tell the fans what Mortal Kombat is in case you missed the first movie. And Johnny Cage here, he says like, I don't have any powers, like I don't have any robot arms, or I can't shoot lightning. And it looks like they're not even mentioning Arcana, which is interesting. Much like Star Wars, when Star Wars introduced midichlorians, and then nobody liked midichlorians. And then in the next two movies, they don't even mention the word midichlorians. I think that's what's going to happen with Arcana, but we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. We get this training montage, and the way Kitana fights looks really cool. She was able to like hover the fan in front of his face and make it spin, and then like spin kick it into the wall. I mean, what they're doing with Kitana here is masterclass on how to handle this character. Then we get to see this scene. This is the scene I'm waiting for. It looks like Shao Kahn, and correct me if I'm wrong here, or maybe there's another theory that makes more sense, but if I'm correct, this is Shao Kahn murdering King Jade, taking Edenia. And I think this is a cool thing to see. We've never really seen, they've always mentioned and spoken about King Jade and Edenia and how Shao Kahn took over their realm, but we never really got to see it. We never got to see if it was through a Mortal Kombat tournament, which I don't think it was, or if it was just straight up conquest. He just rolled in and just beat everyone up, and it's looking like he beat everybody up. So we see here a really gruesome fatality where he just sticks the thin end of his hammer into Jade, and it looks like there's people watching on So this might actually be a Mortal Kombat tournament. I think that would be a cool way to establish the stakes on the line, to say that Jared took part in a Mortal Kombat tournament and got all the way to the finals to fight Shao Kahn and then ultimately lost. I think that would be a cool way to show that, hey, the tournament is serious. Here's a scene that I didn't really notice until I really slowed it down and took these screenshots, but it looks like they're in front of a portal to the Netherrealm, or I don't really know, but what it really reminds me of, tell me if I'm if I'm tripping here, but it reminds me of the Mortal Kombat 2 stage called The Portal with these Shadow Priests here. It really gives me the same kind of tone where it looks like there's a giant portal in the background. So I think that's what this is. And also the two characters here, it looks like it is Liu Kang on the right and Kung Lao on the left. At first I thought maybe that's Raiden, but the hat looks more straight. So I'm guessing this is actually Kung Lao. And perhaps this is how we bring those old characters back to life. Maybe they're revenants, maybe they're not. Maybe they go to the Netherrealm and free their souls. I'm not certain, but it definitely looks like they're about to fight. So I'm interested in what this scene is actually going to be. Here we have Kano back from the dead, and if they were going the Revenant route, I don't think he would be here in front of Raiden and Johnny Cage. I think he would be with the bad guys, but and at least look a little bit different. But he's here, and I believe in the scene he says, all right, let's go, as in, let's go to the tournament. So it seems as though Kano is back on the good side and back from the dead, which perhaps could explain or gives more credence to this scene as far as them going to the Netherrealm to perhaps they have to defeat them in a fight to retrieve their souls. I'm not certain, but clearly we got Kano back, and thank goodness, because Kano was the standout in the last movie, and I think they really needed his comedic timing to really bring some levity to some of these scenes. Another holdover from the previous movie is Cole Young. We didn't get to see a lot of Cole Young in this trailer, but he's absolutely in the movie, and we can see him here wearing the plot armor with those bladed tonfas. So if anyone was thinking Cole Young would just disappear, I am sorry to disappoint. Cole Young is back in this movie, and I've seen people online say maybe they want to see it take a Johnny Cage Annihilation route where he dies right at the beginning, or we see Shao Kahn or someone kill Cole Young, and just because of what happens later on in the trailer, I don't think that's gonna be the case. But that doesn't mean that Cole Young doesn't die in this movie. So that, at the very least, you can hold on to if that's what you're looking for. But Cole Young is back in the sequel, and it looks like he will take part in the Mortal Kombat tournament. And this is what set the entire internet ablaze. We see Jade. And first and foremost, Jade's staff looks really cool. I really like that we got the glowing staff. It's glowing green, though, instead of glowing her regular purple staff. But I can take that. Jade, I think, she looks awesome. But what everyone is going on and on about is her bald head. Jade is bald. Oh my gosh, Jade is bald. And I know everyone was looking for a Jade that looked more akin to this. This is the Jade people wanted to see. And to be honest, at first I was like, why is she like this? But I mean, so number one, apparently there is a reason why Jade is like this. But even if there wasn't a reason, even if this is just how this version of the character is, why is that such a big deal? I mean, we got people say they want things to be accurate to the way it was in the games, but we got Kano looking like this, with the weird hair and the beard and whatnot, and he doesn't have to be accurate, but we love this version of Kano. That's absolutely fine, right? If they change Jade, it's an issue. And you know what I've noticed with the Mortal Kombat fan base? Whenever a woman is not scantily clad or doesn't have straight hair, I think is a key thing, then the fans are quote unquote concerned about it. We saw it in MK1 with Tanya. Tanya has always had straight hair and was scantily clad, but MK1 comes out, she has natural hair, and it's an issue. And people said that, oh, she looks ugly. She looks ugly, even though when we see other pictures of her where she's not in this weird angle, she looks absolutely fine. She looks completely beautiful and just like a regular woman. But people still clung to the idea that Jade in Mortal Kombat, I'm sorry, Jade, Tanya, that Tanya in Mortal Kombat 1 is ugly, you know, because she's not showing her behind, and and she doesn't have straight hair, I think is the key thing, the way she did in Mortal Kombat 4 in her debut. Meanwhile, Jade has always been represented as a darker skinned woman. You see her hair compared to Kitana in her debut game, Mortal Kombat 2. She's clearly darker skinned. But in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, we had a whole Asian woman playing Jade. And again, this wasn't an issue because she has straight hair. And if someone is changed and doesn't have straight hair, look, she looks nothing like Jade. This actress, and she did a great job playing Jade. I'm not hating on her being different, but the point I'm trying to bring up is the fans are only upset when characters change. If it's a woman that changes from scantily clad to more covered up, or they change from straight hair to something other than straight hair, which is what we see with Jade here, and people just going insane. We had posts like this, Contra saying, even if you don't think it has anything to do with race, you have to ask yourself why they chose Jade specifically to look like this. They would never do this to Kitana nor Sonya, so why Jade? Let's discuss. And I feel like it makes perfect sense why it's Jade. We even had Todd Gardner, the producer of the movie, saying the movie will make it clear. And I think that this is just going to be her Mortal Kombat 2 storyline, or her character arc played out in the movie. Her UMK3 bio states, when the renegade princess Kitana makes her escape into the unknown regions of Earth, Jade is appointed by Shao Kahn to bring her back alive. Once a close friend of the princess, she's faced with the choice of betraying her friend or disobeying her emperor, which I believe is going to be her arc in this movie. She's going to be torn between focusing on Shao Kahn's orders or being a friend to Kitana, and then once she ultimately chooses to side with Kitana and leave the Empire, as a physical show of that, she's going to cut her hair. At least that's what I think is going to happen in the movie. Very much like, I don't know if you ever watched Avatar The Last Airbender, when these two characters, Zuko and Iroh, realize that they can no longer go back to their home, the Fire Nation, because they're considered enemies of the state. They cut their hair as a symbolic cutting off their ties to their homeland. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen with Jade. She's going to cut her hair as a symbolic showing that she's completely cutting ties with Outworld. But that is just my theory. We'll see what happens when the movie is actually released. We have a clip of Jax here, and it looks like he's going to be doing some training, and he's training with Jade. So I'm guessing this is after Jade has already made her decision to side with Earthrealm instead of Outworld. We get another clip here of Jax practicing. He does the ground pound, and it looks like it's Liu Kang in the left and probably Cole Young here on the right. We get a cool shot of Raiden just being Raiden, just blasting. This is a cool shot of Liu Kang too, and this is almost like an X-ray attack because he's summoning fire behind him, and he then shoots the fire, and if you look carefully, it looks almost like it's a dragon's head coming towards Shao Kahn. And then you see Shao Kahn getting engulfed by the flames. And I think this might actually be the finale of the movie. I think they're actually going to give the final fight to Liu Kang and not be Johnny Cage or Cole Young. The way the trailer is cut, at the end it shows Johnny Cage saying it's showtime, and then you see Shao Kahn. But those two scenes are completely different, and we're going to go over that when we get to it. But yeah, we see Liu Kang fighting Shao Kahn, and I think this is going to be the finale of the movie. We have Johnny Cage and Sonya speaking, and Johnny Cage is talking about how he's not some sort of champion that's ready for this kind of tournament, and I think this is going to be the beginning of their relationship. We see him saying that he's just an actor. And man, he's looking older here, but again, I dig that they're going for an old. I dig that they actually wrote it into the script that he is an older Johnny Cage, because that would not have worked. We get a clip here of Baraka, and I think at the end of the clip when he says it's showtime, this is the fight that he's talking about, fighting Baraka. And Baraka says he's annoying and he wants to kill him. And Johnny Cage says, not in the face. And then we see Baraka shooting off the bone spears at Johnny Cage. And then we get a couple of cool flips here. And these flips are very akin to Johnny Cage's, the way he would fight in Mortal Kombat X and in Mortal Kombat 1, and in Mortal Kombat 11, actually, with these very extravagant jump flips and stuff like that. So, split flips and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that this was very well done, and it looks dope in action. You actually have to watch it in motion. But I was very happy with what we saw here with Johnny Cage. Then we get to see, it looks like it looks like we see Jade here fighting with Kitana, and Kitana just pulls off her hair wrap, and they fight with this. But I think this is just a sparring contest. I don't think this is an actual Mortal Kombat match. But again, time will tell. We don't know. We see a clip here of Jax, and it looks like Jax is being teleported without wanting to. He says no, and then he gets teleported. So this was another really quick clip that I didn't notice until I started doing these screenshots. But I don't know what that's about. But again, we'll see when the movie comes out. Here's an odd one. We see Shao Kahn standing, and I don't know if this is actually Shao or if this is just a statue of Shao, and this is maybe up in the sky. And then we see these things light up, and at first I was like, are those Kamidogu? Are we going the route of the Kamidogu? But the fact that it's all one color on one side and all another color on the other side, I don't think this is Kamidogu. But then again, I'm not really sure what this might be. Are these like the different realms? Like these represent the different realms? Or do these represent the objects that tie the realms together? Just like in Natara's ending in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, we find out that when a realm is merged into another, there's actually a failsafe against it. There's an orb somewhere in the realm, and if that orb is shattered, then the realms separate. So maybe these are what those orbs would be. These are the things tying other realms to Outworld. I don't know. Again, this is something that we're gonna have to discover when the movie comes out. But let me know what you think. Do you have any theories on what these glowing objects might be? We see a clip here of Sindel screaming, and it looks like she's in a Mortal Kombat match against Sonya, and Sonya's beams are holding back sound. I don't know I don't know why she would be in like a key battle with a laser blast and sound. But I mean, it looked cool when I saw it, but it just, when I think about it now, I don't know if it makes much sense. But I'm digging it. I'm digging this fight. Hopefully Sindel isn't like Reiko in the first movie and just a throwaway person for a fight, and they really go into her story. Now that I think about it, I think there isn't really enough time to go into all the aspects of this. They can't really explore Jade's story and Sindel's story and Johnny Cage's story and Jared's story, like the Edenians, the Edenian invasion, and the Mortal Kombat tournament. This movie is going to be 3 hours long, you guys. we see old Scorpion, and he doesn't look like, you know, the Ninja Spectre Scorpion. He looks regular. So maybe this had to do with them going to the Nether Realm and getting some souls back, and maybe Scorpion was one of them. We see Johnny Cage here with Jax and Liu Kang in the background, and this looks like this is where he's actually about to fight Baraka in this scene. It looks like it's the same scene here. They're in the same like colony looking location. Then we get this complete cool looking scene with Shao Kahn walking down the stairs, and he looks imposing. He looks dope in this movie. So we get to see this scene here, and then immediately after that we see Johnny Cage go, "It's showtime." And it almost makes, if you're not paying attention, it makes it seem like Shao Kahn is coming down and then Johnny Cage is gonna fight him. But like I said before, again, I think that this scene here where he says it's showtime, this is not to fight Shao Kahn. This is to fight Baraka. And again, I think that the Shao Kahn scene that we see here, you know, this looks like it's dusk, like it's becoming nighttime, and it looks like a corridor here. It looks like he's gonna enter the corridor, and this is where we're gonna see him fight Liu Kang. And then Liu Kang does this Shinku Hadouken dragon fire flame that engulfs Shao Kahn. And I think, again, this is gonna be the finale. Just my theory, but you know, we'll see how it works out. We get to see a fight which what I can guess is the Nether Realm, and we see the obligatory Bihan gets beat up. See, Sub-Zero always loses to Scorpion in all of these trailers, whether it's a game trailer or a movie trailer. So we see Scorpion fighting him, and he does like these cool Spider-Man moves with his spear, the get over here spear, and then he does this double spear. And we get a pretty good look at Noob Saibot here. It looks like he's, instead of wearing the all black, to distinguish him from his shadow, the original wears this silver armor over the ninja suit. So he's here, he gets hit by the double spear, but then as he's being pulled to Scorpion, we see that he pulls out the shadow. So it's almost like he pulled a replacement jutsu. For those of you who know about Naruto, you know what I'm talking about here. So Bihan pulls a replacement jutsu. It pulls out the shadow, saving himself. And then at this point, we see Scorpion slice open the shadow. Again, this is not Noob Saibot. This is the shadow that can reanimate. So he splits open the shadow, and that's kind of how the movie, or how the trailer ends. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm mistaken. That's not how the trailer ends. We get to see a cool shot of Shao Kahn, so we get the full mask here, and this is something that we've seen months ago. We've seen this clip here, or this picture, and it looks cool. I'm digging this Shao Kahn. We also get to see, again, this looks like it's at the portal, and we have Kung Lao here. He's about to throw the hat, and he does throw the hat, but he throws it at Liu Kang. It looks like Liu Kang on the left fighting somebody on the right. I don't know who that is. I can't really make out who that is. Maybe that's Kano? I don't know, but clearly Kung Lao is trying to prevent them from fighting. That's what it seems like. We get this dope scene with Kitana doing a buzzsaw on Shao Kahn's mask, and it looks like the mask is withstanding the cutting of Kitana's attack here. And it just, the fact, like, Kitana is deadly in this movie. She's most likely not gonna beat Shao Kahn here, but the very fact that she's capable of doing this with a fan is just, again, a masterclass of how to handle this character. We see Baraka here just take out this guy. I don't know who this is. Maybe this is someone in the Shaolin Temple. I don't know, but he murks someone, which we're already getting Baraka as a threat, which is pretty cool. Normally Baraka is just a jobber and gets beat up, but they're showing that Baraka is deadly here. we get to see Johnny Cage is also in the Netherrealm scene. So he's here, and then we see Kano is fighting against Noob Saibot, which also confirms the fact that Kano is indeed with the good guys. He's not, or maybe he's a double agent, I don't know, but at least on the surface it looks like he's with Earthrealm and not with Outworld. And this is him talking, hey, you don't have any special powers, and Johnny Cage is like, nah, I'm just handsome. He shoots this beam and accidentally almost hits Johnny with it. And this is indeed how the trailer ends. And then we get the date. It comes out October 24th, only in theaters. And that's the trailer. I thought the trailer was really cool. People going crazy over Jade. You guys relax. There's a reason for Jade's bald head, the fact that she has no hair, and I think it makes sense why they would do that for Jade's character as opposed to someone like Kitana or somebody like that. So hopefully whatever reason they actually have in the script makes sense. I think my theory is a good one, the fact that she's going to cut ties with Outworld, so she cuts her hair. I think that makes sense. And I think that's the cleanest thing to go with, like the thing that makes the most sense. But again, we'll see. The trailer was cool. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Was this a cool trailer? Was there something that bothered you about it? Did you want to see someone that you didn't see? And did you want to see someone more that we didn't get a lot of? Like, where are the Cole Young fans? You guys wanted to see more Cole Young? If you made it this far, you can
Acknowledge me!
by hitting the like button. This helps videos like this get to viewers like you, and it is very much appreciated. You can hit confirm that by hitting the subscribe button to join
Literally millions and millions
of ShinFit subscribers. We post regularly, we do live streams, and we do polls almost every day. So to make sure you don't miss any of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Become a member of the channel to join exclusive watch parties where we watch Mortal Kombat media like the cartoons, the TV shows, and the movies. The link will be in the description. If you want to hear a conversation about will Arcana return in this movie, that link is on screen now. But more importantly than anything else, don't get beat up out there.